people come to us and they call us here, what they're asking us is, how did you do this? How did Bergen County end homelessness? I think it's multifaceted, but some of the most important parts of it are that we have political will. We have a government here who believes that it's unacceptable for anyone to sleep outside.
We had abilities here that facilitated process. In addition to that, they made a commitment at the time it was all driven by the decision to end chronic homelessness or end homelessness. You had to come up with a 10-year plan. And the Housing Authority figured really, with our resources, we're the solution to that. How do you end homelessness? You have to house people. Where are your resources to house people? And the authority looked at our entire portfolio and said, yeah, we have some really great opportunities to both manage and from that relationship use our resources towards it and make those commitments. And our commitment to both our high performer status and our success long term, it just seemed to be a win-win.
Bergen County made a commitment, and I'm just happy that I could sit here and continue to say that I've continued that commitment. I'm proud that we've accomplished these things, but I'm certainly not naive enough to know that we don't have more work to do. And the 10 years have been great success, and we've grown and changed, and we've adjusted as time has gone on. Our model is a good model.
Ending veterans' homelessness is definitely personal to me for multiple reasons. My stepfather was in the Korean War, and I know what he went through himself when he came back, and he said that a lot of times people gave him his back, and it was very hard for him to reset his life. And why is it that we cannot be able to access a home or give a home to a veteran that has given up so much for us? They've sacrificed so much for our country, and the least we could do is provide a home for them and give them shelter for everything they did for us to give us our freedom as a country.
I'm most proud of the fact that so many groups are working together. I think that if you're going to effectively address homelessness, you have to have everybody on board. And to be able to work with so many wonderful organizations and individuals who are fully committed has been an absolute thrill for me. And it clearly is the way that people need to work together in this work if you want to effectively end homelessness.
In Bergen County, it has changed the idea of assisting people who are homeless from one of individuals who are viewed as a kind of the last resort individuals to one that is guided by a vision of compassion and really assisting them in moving on with improving their lives.
Our agency's main contribution, I think, has been just the spirit of radical hospitality, which was our watchword before we came, part of our mission statement for the agency. And that means just welcoming people as they are, where they are, and working with them to go farther in the pathway that they choose, and as much as possible as we know will work best for them.
We felt a particular calling to help those that were maybe not accepted by other shelters. So people that may have had chronic issues, whether it was mental illness or substance abuse, that were turned away from other shelters, we wanted to provide a safe haven.
Family Promise provides dinner every single night of the year, 365 days. When the volunteers come here to serve dinner, they really serve it from the heart, and I think that the guests feel that. And you see it in the nightly interaction, the bantering that goes back and forth, the smile to that one person that's looking a little bit down. And this may be the bright point in these people's lives that day.
So I think that anytime you can get up in the morning and go to work and actually look forward and enjoy what you're doing, in this case, helping in the upward mobility of people with probably one of the most challenging times they're going to have in their life, being homeless and having to be displaced for a period of time is rewarding for us.
I think the biggest thing that the shelter does, and we mirror them, is the respect for people.
Okay.
You know, people are not treated any differently because they have to be here. Everybody's treated with dignity, and I think that goes a long way.
Veterans have always faced challenges, but in today's environment, obviously, you have veterans that have been deployed multiple times into combat zones. There's always an issue of veterans readapting or transitioning back into civilian life. You have some mental health issues that are pervasive in the community. So veterans have a unique set of challenges. This is why it's important that we, can offer a support system for them when they get back. And if they do run into any kind of issues or problems, we'll be able to be there to refer them to appropriate agencies and get them the help that they need.
I think the thing that emotionally affects me on a day-to-day basis is when I see someone walk in the door here that's 85 years old, and they're in the twilight years, and they're in a shelter. And that just disturbs me tremendously. Many of these people have led full lives. They've been employed, they've had families, and something very tragic has happened to them, which leads them to our door. And so in terms of leadership and where I'd like to use my influence would be to really have creative housing solutions for people that are older, who have medical conditions. They don't need a nursing home, but they can't live on their own. And we don't have solutions for that in-between need. And I just look at our baby boomer population that is growing. And if you look at the research that's out there right now, it shows us very clearly in the next decade that these numbers are going to continue to rise. And we need to find a solution. We owe that to our seniors in our community to find viable solutions for them so that they can live their twilight years safely and joyfully.
But the benefit that's come back from being a part of the village, really, there's a whole collaboration of entities here in Bergen County that without all of the partners would fall apart. So what's come back from those relationships are that with other clients, with other tenants that are not homeless or were formerly homeless, that we're now having issue with, who may need a little assistance or may need supportive services or may need something as they age in place, I now have this whole pool of partners for this process that, because we stepped in and did the right thing, are willing to assist back. So it's been a blessing across the board for all sides of operation, whether it's the housing authority's public housing portfolio, whether it's our rental assistance vouchers to folks that have come off the wait list. We've benefited from those referrals, those linkages, those community partnerships, and the assistance that we're able to provide across the board to all of the authority's clients.
Extremely personal. And I'm extremely proud that we were able to accomplish it. So my father-in-law were both Navy veterans, and then my father was called back to Korea, and never really was able to take advantage of the benefits that he was entitled to. And my brother was the end of Vietnam era combat veteran, and in hearing some of the things that he's told me, living in Louisiana, he's not gotten the support that he's needed, and then talking to veterans, as a mayor and as the county executive, and hearing stories even today about whether they're getting the right services they need and getting the things that are going to continue to help them live productive lives, and their spouses and their family. It was very personal, and so to have homelessness as a one part of the whole service, and being able to give a veteran back, and I say this all the time, veterans took a part of their life and put it on hold to defend this country, and so who else should we be doing something for than veterans? And that's why it's so personal to me.
Okay.